Hello, I'm Suzanne Yvette, and this is Alternate Perspective. This show is about shining a light on all things alternative or community-driven by providing a platform of alternative perspectives. Today, we have our guests. This is Art Sirnus, David Williams, and we will eventually have our friend Jose, and he may not come, so he is in spirit, and then maybe physically manifest, which will be awesome. So please introduce yourselves.
My name is Art Cisneros, and I'm a local resident, born here, and I belong to my mother's clan of the Chumash people. So I'm indigenous from that perspective. I have a multicultural background. My father's family comes from Mexico, and my grandfather and grandmother in Mexico met in an orphanage. They were both orphans. So I have not a complete understanding of all that I am from that father part of me. My spiritual name, gifted to me by my teacher here in the Chumash community, translates to Earth Man with a Good Heart. I am living up to that, trying to do my best to be. And most recently, I have had the pleasure of meeting Jose Munoz, who will hopefully be coming shortly.
He'll manifest.
And through my work in the local community with the Chumash people over the last years, I've come to have a better understanding of how difficult it can be sometimes for all of us to welcome each other as family members. And so part of the work that I do and why I'm here is to remind everyone that we have the same mom. It's called Mother Earth. We all come from and are part of Mother Earth. On a more spiritual, might say, esoteric way of believing, my prayer that was gifted to me by my teacher would translate to the spark, the light in the great mystery, in what we sometimes refer to as God or the divine presence, is the same spark. It's the same light in me and in each of us. And so in that sense, we all come from the same source, the same Father, if you will.
Yeah.
And so in this time with the new sixth sun presence in the calendar and all that it shares, I'm reminded that we need to remind each other that we belong to the same family. How wonderful that our family is so diverse. How wonderful that we have all these wonderful cultural differences, languages, and belief systems. But what I keep getting reminded about, what I really want the audience to understand is that we're all being inspired. We're all being moved by the new sun, by the new light. And it is inspiring and opening us up to the concept of unifying. We see each other and we see the differences. And what we are wanting to begin to understand is that we are the same family, so that we don't have to keep arguing about things. We don't have to be in conflict. We can see each of us as part of the same family, and truly I should be in love with both my female and my male counterparts on the planet.
Yeah.
We all come to the same place, and we're all here to fulfill our mutual purpose, which is my work. My work is to help the world heal, to help heal the world. We are in symbiotic, interconnected relationship with our mother. When she feels ill, so do we.
Yeah.
And we, in our illness, can also create bad feelings with our mom. So being in good relations means that we're taking care of her, and she takes care of us.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because as you were saying that it's a very symbiotic relationship that we have with the earth, that there's, even if people who are very into science, scientifically there's been studies that there is an interpersonal connection between our environment and who we are. There's even the study of ecology, which literally studies that connection and relationship.
So everyone is probably aware that the frequency of our planet has increased.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
Oh,
Now I know.
absolutely. I think it's 7 point some odd hertz was originally the vibration of the planet, and it has exceeded that, doubled, if not more. So that we're literally being inundated with new energies. You spoke about the symbiotic relationship. As our mother ascends into the next, you might say, dimension, or begins the process, now, we will also be affected. And there are actually symptoms of this ascension that has been documented and well categorized, if you will.
Yeah.
So we're in the beginning of what Jose would describe as the opening that is the new calendar, and it also is created by this cycle that we are right in the middle of, the 26,000 year cycle. So we're directly in the right place, looking at the center of the universe, or center of our galaxy, excuse me, and it's looking back. And what we are feeling is this new energies, which we can measure, science is measuring it, new frequencies. And in the process, there are dormant DNAs that are strands that are being activated so that we can do some special things to help us understand who we are. So over the years, I've tried to understand who I am, where I'm at, and what I'm here for. And so we can each find our own purpose when we get down to understanding who we are, number one, and our purpose. So I was introducing, hopefully, the listeners and the viewers to the concept of our primary directive when we were first created as human beings was to take care of take care of our mother. We've been given the garden that a lot of text will describe as heaven. We are in the garden, and our primary directive is to take care of the garden. We're gardeners, caretakers. And we forgot. And so when we separate ourselves from our mom, this symbiotic relationship, we get confused and start thinking that we're not here to take care of her, that we're here to take care of ourselves first. And so when we separate, we can use our mom as a commodity, for example. It becomes a resource rather than literally part of us that we should be in relationship with.
Yeah.
So as I understand it, part of healing the world would be to introduce the concept of, it begins with you. It begins with each of us. Each of us has a responsibility to take care of ourselves first so that we can love ourselves, and in that we will be able to love another person. And that's where families are very, very important. You receive your first love from your mom and your family, and they're hugging you and kissing you and telling you you're a great, great person. We should be doing that with each other. We should be taking care of every living thing with that tenderness and that kindness, with that generosity, compassion.
Yeah.
I talk too much. But you asked, and I'm here to share a little bit of what got me involved with the Tribal Trust Foundation, for example.
Yes.
And so I wanted to read to you the mission statement, and I think I've already introduced you to what that is.
Yes.
Tribal Trust Foundation mission, to sharing indigenous wisdom and culture in support of nature and global healing. So I fit it right in there. So that's why I was invited. What Jose does, what David does, what we all do in our spiritual practice is to make it a better place, to help each other remember our primary directive, to remember that we're here to love and to create love relationships with ourselves and our families, and especially with our Mother Earth. And that way we don't have to worry about the other person. Oh, that's my friend. They may not like me, but I have relatives all over the world. And so that's it. That's the concept.
I like it.
Thank you.
My name's David Williams. I'm here because I met Jose 3 years ago when he came to Santa Barbara, and with the Art had arranged at the Antioch University the event, and my mind was blown because he presented, he had this crystal skull named Kamachimi, and then some other artifacts, and then a big 8-foot double Xerox copy of a scroll. And he says, "This is the Jade Princess scroll."
Oh, wow.
And this message was delivered in 1444 by the Jade Princess, who transmitted back in time from the year 2029 to the year 1444 and delivered this message. And the only part of the message that's always looked like a rubbing off of a stone carving with all these faces and that. The only thing he mentioned is that the message coming back from 2029 to 1444 is that we have world peace starting in the year 2021. So he said, we don't normally talk about this, but because inside this crystal skull, a little spot of blood has appeared. Our elders told me now is the time to go give this message, the Jade Princess message. So that sat on me, and then the February of 2016, Jose did a Mayan calendar reading, astrology reading from this is the sixth sun calendar, sacred calendar, for the next 26,000 years starting December 21st, 2012. So he did a reading on the three then presidential candidates, Bernie and Hillary and the Donald. And he says, it tells me that Donald Trump's going to win the election, and his cosmologically, he has what it takes to unite the nation in harmony. So and people kind of got mad at him, some of them. And he said, not me, this is what it says, not my opinion, kind of thing, right? So by February of this year, I kind of put two and two together, and I asked him, do you see yourself meeting with the president sometime, or in ceremony? And in so many words, he says, well, if you have an initiative to do it, let's go for it, kind of thing. So I initially asked around and tried to arrange the president to come here to Santa Barbara. The Reagan Ranch Center's here. They're ready to host him for a talk, bring him out to the Tree of Peace on campus, get the ceremony like Jose has done, the ceremonies now at the Tree of Peace on campus, respecting the great law of peace. So I figured then I give the president a spiritual experience to understand something that he doesn't yet that'll help towards peace. But the people didn't like the idea, so I decided, okay, then I have to go do the peace walk. So that means I resurrected a project from 1986 called the Great Spirit All My Relations Relay Marathon Walk and Caravan. This was initiated by my teacher, the first teacher in the Masao Napashi, the Nipponzam Yohoji, Japanese monks beating the drums. And then that time they got as far as Big Mountain. We had a big adventure, 7,000 miles, planned everything. But because all the concepts behind it, this is resurrected for this project, because the timing from Atlanta to July 11th to the White House August 30th means I'm only one guy, I have an RV, so I can't plan to walk and drive at the same time.
Yeah.
I can walk and chew gum at the same time, and I can drive and chew gum at the same time, but I can't walk and drive at the same time.
That'll be an interesting experience.
So I figured, okay, then I scheduled a firm schedule of dates, and then I started Atlanta, July 11th. Then my friend Napashi's daughter is going to lead the walk. Now she's older. And then whistle stop tour. Each city on the route, go to City Hall at noon, meet with the local people, talk for 20 minutes, walk around the block for peace for 20 minutes, talk for another 20 minutes. What did we learn today? What was our experience? Then the purpose is to create community peace councils in different communities all around. This comes from our mayor, Kathy Murillo, gave us a proclamation on the March 11th ceremony, and exactly explains the creating local community peace councils for the purpose of the peace, personal peace, the peace through love, peace through the practice of unconditional love for person, then that leads to peace in the community and peace in the world. So this is the concept. We'll be doing Whistle 21 cities. Tomorrow's Los Angeles, noon. Anybody listening, you're in Los Angeles, join me at noon, City Hall steps. A few people are already going to be there. And then we're asking for proclamations from the various mayors along the way to add to the one that our mayor gave us to deliver to the White House at the end of the walk and publicize along the way in order to bring the message of peace to the president, including this is the, you can't read it, well, I'm not holding the camera, you can't read it, but this is the description of the symbols on the peace pole. We have created a global peace pole This is for the offering the ceremony for the White House. The middle, kind of middle symbol, the Great Law of Peace, Hopi Declaration of Peace. The Hopi Declaration of Peace included in the message. So the message of peace, we have the peace pole, and this is the peace pole. You can see the ceremony March 11th, the art, and the Jose here, and the Maya, and here's the mayor, Kathy Murillo. And she put the symbol on the peace pole for the uniting the three faiths of Jerusalem. This one here, this was developed for the Christmas 2000 Bethlehem to Jerusalem Peace Walk. Mm-hmm. And then this is the Global Peace Baton, Global Peace Relay. You accept the message of peace, and then pass the baton. You accept it, and pass it to the next guy, kind of thing. So we're popularizing this separately from the event. And Melissa, who invented it, Melissa Vallon in Los Angeles, I didn't put all of them on, but she has the idea, plastic pipe, 18 inches. If you're like an Occupy person, you realize the police don't like this. Mm-hmm. And so she made one out of a paper towel tube, the cardboard, real easy, like duct tape. This one has paw prints all over it, the Pets for Peace. Mm-hmm. And so basically, this is the picture of the Mayan calendar dream catcher. This is represents around the outside is 20 symbols from the previous 26,000 year calendar, and then inside there 5 more new symbols that's related to this new 6th sun calendar. And each of these are archetypes, and they have a description. He has the book. You might have flash Jose's book. This is you can get Jose Munoz's book. Go to Jose Ajpu, A-J-P-U, Munoz, joseajpumunoz.com, and you can get his book that describes all the details about this new calendar with the various archetype pictures. And the idea behind it is you learn this calendar system, then you start understanding not only you can remember the past, but you can remember the future. So that in your now, you're doing things almost like you're remembering that they were done in the future. I tell you, I haven't even read the book, but in the ceremonies and the message, all this, I get this feeling the last couple of months working on this Great Spirit Relay project. I'm typing a mile a minute, I don't know where all this is coming from, it's just coming out. And I really get the feeling I'm remembering that I did this already, and I'm just putting down what was already done. It's a really strange thing. So I made up these little flyers, has the schedule, and it has our mayor's proclamation side, the schedule of our events. And Melissa got me hooked up yesterday on all social media, so hashtag GR number 8, Spirit Relay. So it's Great Spirit Relay, but only 15 characters you can have on one of them. So she shortened it, made great with the GR8.
Spirit Relay.
Great GR8 Spirit Relay. So hashtag GR8 Spirit Relay. You're going to find lots of stuff there related to this. And it's my hope to be able to join Jose and Art and the Maya, the Tribal Trust delegation at the Standing Rock Summer Solstice Ceremony to help set up this. This was Jose came to our first Spiritual Unity Summit 2 years ago, August 20th to 28th. This is called White Buffalo Prophecy Days. The August 20th, 1994, the first white buffalo calf was born, the non-albino female white buffalo calf. August 20th, 1994 marks was named Miracle, the calf, but this marks the beginning of the fulfillment of the Lakota prophecy from 19 generations ago about the time of hope. It's a symbol of hope that the white buffalo calf pipe woman said, "I'll be back," and coming as a white buffalo calf again. So this is everybody's on alert. Oh, prophecy. Oh, what's a prophet? But this is one that actually 19 generations ago on this continent was given and has been passed orally all these generations with the original sacred pipe, and then now coming true. So this is why we had August 20th to 28th Spiritual Unity Summit 2016 in Arizona, and Jose came, and the Chumash, the Hopi messenger, Omau, came. So this year, the last part of this Great Spirit Relay to the White House, August 20th to 28th in Greenbelt Park, Maryland, National Park, we'll have a camp for 9 days, Spiritual Unity Summit, compile all the messages, all the proclamations, all the letters from organizations that they want peace messages for us to propagate, and distill it all down, and then carry it all to the White House. That's the idea. So this centerpiece he saw in the 2016 at our gathering, the Spiritual Unity Summit. He saw my model of this structure and asked to have put inside his calendar system. So we did that, and that'll be at Standing Rock, the same one, the colored one. This is what it looked like in Santa Barbara, set up without it, some 1994. So that's basically a summary of what I'm here for, and waiting for Jose to talk a little more about.
Okay, thank you for that. I really enjoyed both of the topics that you guys mentioned and what you're trying to do with the Tribal Trust Foundation and the Peace Walk. What we should talk more in depth about is what's going on at Standing Rock. So if you can go further along on the plans dealing with that, and that when you guys are going, and maybe how people can support you.
To begin with, Standing Rock was chosen as the location for the next Mayan Dreamcatcher temple. And Jose will share more about why. But one of the spiritual elders from there came to receive and will create and host the creation of it there. Jose has indicated that if we can do 100 of these Dreamcatcher temples around the world, that it will help bring peace to the planet, great harmony. So to be selected as the first place where this will be done, and it has been done here in the Chumash territories, was quite an honor, and I was beginning to remember part of the journey that we had together in 1444. And so I'm learning as we walk this way that we've all been gathering for years and years. And I heard a story at a gathering of prophet keepers in Turtle Mountain, which is the center of Turtle Island, which is in Ojibwe country, North Dakota.
North Dakota, okay.
And there, the similarities of all the prophecies were shared. And what's coming to mind now as we speak about creating these temples, it's activating our memory so that we all remember that not only have we been together before, but we are together in the future, and we're remembering how to create it now to fulfill all of the prophecies and to fulfill our purpose for being and ascending into the next phase of our life, of our evolution. You know, we began, and depending on who you believe, from one aspect or another, and then we're modified, if you will, to become who we are today. And these have been scientifically, analyzed through anthropology and measuring people's bones, as well as where they come from, that we're maybe 1 million years old, and that we've developed quite a bit since then to become Homo sapiens and to become the next evolution of our existence, which sounds pretty incredible to me. I want to be here when it happens. So I want to make it happen before, the 400 years are over of our illumination, beginning with the new calendar. There's 400 years that we've been given to manifest this. At some point, I would like to share what Jose has written about the Dreamcatcher Temple. And then we can talk about where it's going to be created, what happened here in Santa Barbara, and what is intended for the world to receive. And I'll also share, I think it's here. Yes, it is here. Okay. Here we go. This is the 6th Sun Mayan calendar, the sixth sun Mayan calendar's dream catcher. The manifestation station and humanoid reset charging outlet is here to be shared and utilized by our grand crews in planet Earth. Immediately to me, that means that we came from someplace else, or that we're connected to star beings. Well, it reminded me that the Chumash people believe that we did come from the stars, specifically the what they call the Seven Sisters, the Pleiades, yes. And it turns out that there are other cultures on Earth that believe they came from there also, including the Aboriginals of Australia. And so here we go, you know, we're remembering. The first one already built and left for the Chumash territories in California. The second built in South Dakota for the Lakota territories, Standing Rock. At Standing Rock, in the day known as June 22nd, 2018. You're all invited. We'll be there to create the next temple. Before this current era, this technology was gifted to the people by Jade Princess, who he's mentioned, in Tulansu, also known as Kiminaju, in the day of the Lord, June 21st, 1444. Jose has recall of those days when he was here. At the last gathering of wisdom keepers, where representatives of the 13 ancient tribes, including the 3 intergalactic tribes, agreed upon a future of intergalactic harmony. That's what we're in process of creating. And there is a glyph in the new calendar that identifies what that is. It's the intergalactic harmony. In this period of illumination, the 400 years that we were speaking of, that began 12/21/12, Oxlack Baktun, the dream weaver, Jose Apio Munoz, is on a mission seeking the other weavers to help them remember this technology and shared it among the masses, and has scheduled the 3rd Dreamcatcher manifestation station for autumn equinox 2018 in South Lake Tahoe. There are 98 other Sixth Sun Sacred Mayan Calendar Dreamcatchers scheduled to be built by December 21st, 2021. It became a dream weaver to become a dream weaver utilizing the Sixth Sun Mayan Sacred Calendar Dreamcatcher called Jose. And that's the beginning of the introduction for a journey that is going to take Jose around the world. And he'll be inviting all the people of the world to join us in creating a new world of peace. So we're in alignment, even though we may have started at different times and in different places with different cultural backgrounds and with different teachers. We're
That's
all
true.
coming together to be around the same place at the same time. When we bring more than 2 people together, we all know that the power of our prayer becomes absolutely exponentially increased, more powerful.
I agree with that.
And so wouldn't it be wonderful that we will simultaneously be praying together? It's already happening with different ceremonies. Maya Shaw Gale, another member of the Tribal Trust Foundation, has been included and been practicing this ceremony for water. So Standing Rock had been bringing us to the attention of the water.
Which is
Water
very
is life.
important. Well, yeah.
Well, for millennia, we've been holding water as sacred and prayed with the water until we forgot. And when we forgot, it allowed others to pollute and to misuse and to waste and to take for granted
A
the
lot
precious
of
gift.
things. Yeah.
So the ceremony have been, as I said, being done since the beginning, are now being, there's a resurgence. We're all beginning to be inspired to get connected to the elements.
Yes.
And so
Very
water,
much so.
there was an organization that prays with the water all day on the full moon. So it's called the full moon water ceremony. And we do them here in Santa Barbara
You do?
at the beach.
Wow. I'm very interested.
And so when the full moon comes, we'll be down at the beach praying with the water.
All right.
We'd like to have everyone do the same. And we chose where the water cycle begins and ends. Where the creeks and the rivers join the ocean is the end and the beginning of the cycle of water. So it's a very appropriate place to do this.
Wow. Sounds beautiful.
Always at East Beach.
Yeah, well, it has been at East Beach. We've also done it at Arroyo Burro Beach,
Oh, wow.
Ledbetter Beach, Goleta Beach,
Ledbetter.
Carpinteria Beach.
No, it
Yeah.
sounds
So
pretty.
if you check Maya Shaw Gale, her Facebook page, she has an announcement when the full moon ceremonies come up. And then
The,
Oh, I know.
also the Tribal Trust Foundation has that
Yes.
information.
Yes.
Well, I
That's
have
right.
to connect with you guys and get the info.
And so you're invited, and everyone's invited to become a member of the Tribal Trust
Of course.
Foundation.
Well, you got me. You know you do.
Okay.
But the Standing Rock is it's a festival from the 22nd to the 24th of June. This is a place called Standing Rock Medicine Wheel Living Park. So this Robert White Mountain and his wife have this property. I forget how many acres it is, but the years that they've had it, they've planted trees all around the edge of it and created sustainable gardens and a children's play area and a bunch of things.
Wow.
But they want to make this whole acreage into this beautiful, sustainable park. So they've gotten it to the point now where, okay, come on, help us come plant some trees and all this. So this is the first big gathering that they're calling to not only gather support for the issues that Standing Rock represents, the water, the problems with fossil fuel and the
Oh, yeah.
transportation, so forth. And so June 21st, the day before their festival starts, will be the solstice. This is what would that be, 500 and so many X number of years since the Jade Princess delivered this message in 1444. So this will be set up there, this same idea like it was done at Lucidity Festival. This is the one from Lucidity Festival. We set up there before June 21st, so I expect a powerful ceremony that day. The chief, many of you may know, Chief Arvel Looking Horse, the man who's the 19th generation keeper of the original sacred pipe that the White Buffalo Calf woman gave to the Lakota people. And he conducts every year now for 20 years or more on the summer solstice, World Peace and Prayer Day around the world, asking people to, wherever they are, the summer solstice, have your ceremony on a sacred site, and then join together with all of us around the world. So this will be one at Standing Rock. Me, of course, I'm into the water, protecting the water. But my background's in chemistry and science. My particular area of expertise or interest is in the chemical physics of consciousness. I have authored unified field theory equations about the nature of human consciousness. And so I'm interested in how new technologies that connect to the mind are available to replace nuclear power and fossil fuel power, to solve all the problems we face around the world with fossil fuels and nuclear power. Technologies are available to neutralize the waste, nuclear waste, but they're all suppressed by our government under dual-use secrecy restrictions. There's over 4,000 patents locked up in the patent office that can't be used for civilian purposes because they may have a military application that another government could use against us.
Oh, wow.
So our government confiscates the
Convoluted.
patents.
No,
They
I get
use the
that.
knowledge to create weapons, advanced electromagnetic weapons, you know, a tank that can melt a bus into a little puddle like they used in Iraq War.
Wow.
These are all advanced electromagnetic weapons our military has. That using the knowledge, that if they release this technology to the public, called technology transfer, if our president, the businessman president says, I looked into this, and we ought to do technology transfer to create this new industry for free energy generators, neutralize the waste problems, clean up the planet. That'll make everybody more money than the way we're doing it now. So listen to him. So that's the kind of presentation that I want to bring. But the Standing Rock, people have to realize it's more than protecting the water. We have to do something tangible to move away from the fossil fuel economy and then move to a hemp economy, a global hemp economy with the new energy technologies to help save the planet. So we have Isla Vista has a store called HempWise. So he's been a big supporter over many years. Every time I go, he lets me park there. I walk over to the university hoping somebody's going to show up to my ceremony and nobody shows up or Art shows up. It's a blessing to me, you know. And then finally, it's starting to work. I told people I feel like an old match that's been struck so many times, it's all crumbly. Is this ever gonna light? You know, now I feel like it's lighting, right? So this, I want to offer this message. You can go to santabarbara.sciencecenter.info. That's Santa-Barbara Santa Barbara Science Center with hyphens .info, and the links there will give you all you need. There's a compendium of hundreds of these inventions that we're talking about. We want to have this technology transferred from military to civilian use to solve the problems like we face at Standing Rock with the oils polluting the water and threatening to it and all this kind of thing.
No, that's all very interesting. Because like, as you can see, my stuff is multimedia person and broadcast journalism, but I also, my thing outside of that deals with Yalcon indigenous culture, because I'm a descendant of that, and also like the indigenous culture in South America and preserving sacred plants and kind of relearn, like I want people to be more aware of where those traditions come from, so that appropriate relationship could be built with nature and those plants, because there are sacred plants with sacred spirits that reside with them, with knowledge that can teach, give you the kind of healing and work that in this would be very effective and great. That's why I even have my tattoo of a Black Panther, which is one of the medicine that comes from ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is, the jaguar eats it, and so it's connecting to that jaguar medicine, hence the tattoo. But also, like, the reason I'm glad you guys here is because I want more stuff like that out there. It's very important.
Oh boy, our guest has arrived.
Yes, we've manifested Jose. Woo.
Right this way.
So, there we
Hello,
are.
Jose.
Oh,
So good to see you.
yeah. So we're on the air.
We're glad to have you. We've manifested you.
So Jose came originally from Guatemala. And
Guatemala.
He explains he's one of 250,000 people doing what he does as a calendar keeper, that they keep track of 23 different calendars every day and have all this incredible knowledge, as well as being very amazingly intelligent person himself.
So, we have Jose. We've been waiting for you. We were manifesting you, and we're glad that you've appeared and you're here, and you can tell us about your terrific work.
Well, thank you, Matias, Tata, Matias, Nana, for this opportunity to be here and have this ways of transmitting the messages. My name is Jose Akpu Munoz, and what I do is basically bring invitations to the people to see themselves in past, present, and future at the same time. And this is what I have been entrusted with, what we call the 6 sun calendars. And I share that with everyone who has an open heart, an open mind, and an open spirit to receive these messages.
If you can explain more about the Mayan calendars and the work, and how people, if they really, I'm pretty sure there's voices out there who want to help and support all of this, and would like more information on how to support, but also more about it in general.
What we have started in this since December 22nd of 2012 is a period that we call Oshlahuk Baktun, period of illumination. And it's through that we have been forming alliances with all the tribes, all indigenous, and to us, the Mayan people, everyone is indigenous to this planet. So when I said indigenous, I mean everyone who inhabits Mother Earth. And so in that way, we have this invitation to everyone to come on board with the vision, which is reestablish in this planet what we call the new archetypes of the new world, which are balance, unity, joy, peace, and harmony. And this is how people can get involved. There are several ways to get involved with this vision. The main part is through forming alliances again. We have many organizations that are working together now under one umbrella that we call HOME, the HOME team, which stands for Honoring Our Mother Earth. So that is the two invitations that we have here to get involved. Basically, the messages of the New World are essentially to honor the female nation, to come on board and plant more trees, and to come on board and honor all the elements, starting with the water, the air, the fire, the ether. And so that is the main purpose of my visit wherever I go, is to bring those invitations to the people to come and join us and reestablish balance, unity, joy, peace, and harmony.
No, that's fantastic. And I know we were talking about Standing Rock and the temples that you're creating, the Dreamcatcher temples. Art elaborated that, but maybe you want to give more information and elaborate further.
Yes, the temples, as we call them, are houses of learning. This has several names. It's essentially an installation, a building that we call the 6-song Mayan calendar Dreamcatcher. Mm-hmm. And it's basically creating a space for the people to come and pray together and get together and talk about what the community issues are and bring solutions. In this world that we live in, there's so many issues all across the land. So the temple Dreamcatcher installation is also a Mayan calendar where we can share the teachings of the Maya people through this installation, through this visual. And these dream catchers have been scheduled now to be built across the land and all the reservations, anyone who is allowed in their mind, spirit, and heart to be open to receive these messages. We are willing and able to come and build a dream catcher in the land and the community, so it will be in the future of interest for all generations to come and learn, not just the Mayan calendars, but in general to come together as a community and observe everything that's from issues and solutions that people can come up together from within.
Okay. We also touch upon the Jade Princess. Am I correct? So, as well, can you elaborate further?
Yes, there is many prophecies that we work with. Many, first of all, establish that prophecies are made to do something about it. It's not necessarily that it will happen. It's necessary that we receive information and obtain it in a way where we can make our own decisions about what's being said about those prophecies. Like, for example, I predicted that Donald Trump will be president of the United States way before he was even a candidate, and that came to be true. And there's other prophecies that come along those lines. So I do that as an example in a premise to talk about the Jade prophecies. So Jade Princess is one of those characters of the ancient world, and she has come to this lifetime. She's brought many prophecies with her, and to be able to understand this, we must have an open mind about having several lifetimes in an existence. We must have an open mind to believe in reincarnation, and we must have an open mind to have that mind open to the possibilities that what we say might actually come true. So once we have that mindset, then Jade Princess is someone who came in 1444 to deliver these teachings to the people. And she says she had come from the future where we used to be able to fly in ships, which in the history of the Mayan world, we took that as a time when there will be airplanes. And I say that because we can talk to past, present, and future at the same time. Being a carrier of the word of the Mayan people, then I can understand that. Now, for the general population, it's a little bit difficult because of the mindset of the Western civilization. It's not that easy to understand. So with that, I want to say that everything that I said and more, I put it on writing, and I had to call it for the benefit of the people and myself. I had to call it historical fiction. So that's where Jade Princess comes in. She might or might not be true, depending how open your mind is, how open your heart is. So Jade Princess is a powerful woman who brings teachings to the masses in this time, in the past, and also in the future.
So we also talked about how the Tribal Trust Foundation are working together with you with the Standing Rock. If you both want to talk together about it or elaborate more about it, if there's any further elaboration needed.
I think the only thing that I wanted to call attention to, remind people of, is the spotlight that is now being created on certain issues is for a purpose of illuminating that particular issue so that we can see it more clearly for what it represents. So as I understand it, we have been defending the mother planet for a long time, since the beginning. But most recently, because of the media, we're only allowed to really see what the media wishes us to see. And so we haven't seen all the work that all the indigenous have been doing since the beginning to help protect and defend the natural world. So Standing Rock to me is a moment that we've been given to have all the media focus that light. So what are we looking at? We're looking at conflict. We're looking at different belief systems that are in this conflict around that particular place. What we're beginning to realize is, besides the media attention, we need to create a media message, something that this spotlight is intending for us to carry around the world. I am here to help support all that is happening in the moment. We have become allies. I'm on the home team. I believe that I've been honoring our Mother Earth as best I can for some time. And so when I was given the opportunity to join the bigger home team, not just me, not just David or Jose doing it individually, we are now doing it together. And so this is the moment where we can see in this light and share with the world how we can be together to resolve the issues of conflict by learning how to share the bounty of our mother that has been given to all of us. And here's this moment so we can shed some light of truth into the fact that there is enough in all the world for everyone to have a wonderful life. There's bounty, there is abundance. But we have been given the illusion, and in my little mind I see it as a delusion sometimes, that we're told that the only way that we can become acceptable in this world is to consume as much as possible. It is the antithesis of what the indigenous people truly believe. We should be sharing everything and only use what you need. You don't need to have more than you can possibly use in a lifetime. So we're going to show the differences of belief and hopefully invite all those who may be participating in another way of being in the world to help show them that we can create peace, harmony, unity on this planet when we understand that what our purpose is. And I believe it's here to share love. It's here to help heal the planet and each other. And so that conflict cannot come up again. There will be no misunderstandings when we know that each of our brothers and sisters, who we are in a relationship with, has enough to share. And so that everyone is not without. And everyone has a place to stay. And all of those things that seem to be the illusion of this chaos, we can dissipate it all. We can clean it up. We're doing our best to share that message.
Yeah, I get it. As someone who is involved in media,
Which is why we're here.
I am trying to make a niche where things like this could be shared, less about commodifying something or making it a publicity to just get the attention. More is like, here's a voice that's important, please listen. Like, you don't see this type of voice in mainstream media. I'm like, these are healing voices that want to help the community, that just is an entirely different perspective, but should be out there just so you know it's out there and you can understand it and see the beauty in it. And so I get the need for it, because I am trying to create that niche on my end, which sometimes is hard, but well worth it.
I would like to add that the Travel Trust Foundation is now a vehicle that has helped us in many ways, and also bringing us here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of Art, David, you, of course, and the Travel Trust Foundation. But I want to say that this is the end result of collaborations with tribes from all around the world. I actually started in 1982 in Alberta in Canada with all the northern tribes, and then moved back in 1990 to Quito in Ecuador. And then we have been having meetings yearly, every 4 years, all the way to 2012. And now the next big meeting that we're going to have is going to be in 2020.
Oh, wow.
So this is the end result of 26 years of heavily traveling from many brothers and sisters, but it also goes beyond 26 years, all the way to 1982. So it is truly an honor to be part of the Travel Trust Foundation, and it goes beyond anything that I have ever done in my existence. The fact that we're here now in taking giant leaps to build the next 100 House of Learnings, so House of Wisdoms across the land. It is a very pivotal time right now that we are fully enjoying, and we fully recommend all of you out there to come and join us in the home team across the land of the United States, Canada, and across the continent, but also right here in this hometown of Santa Barbara with Art, Los Angeles, San Diego, and everywhere in between, all the way to Standing Rock in South Dakota, which is our brothers and sisters, the Lakota people, started this home team initiative, effort, movement, however you want to call it, is honoring our Mother Earth, which is also a reminder of we're really basically going back to the roots, awakening our roots. We're going back to the beginnings, and while we enjoy the new technologies and new advancements of in every field in the universe, through this technology, we now can share instantly everywhere. And so again, it's an invitation for all of us to come and honor our Mother Earth while we observe the fact that we can be in an instant present while we're in the past and in the future, right here, right now.
So if you missed all the action at Standing Rock, where the police were so mean, and then people had such a hard time, and you want to do something to help the issue, you can come to the ceremony and the festival now at Standing Rock, Medicine Wheel Living Park, and meet with the real movers and shakers of the spiritual connection to it, and see if we can come up with a solution.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say lastly that starting here in Santa Barbara with the Chumash brothers and sisters, today represented here by our brother, Uncle Art Cisneros, we start this trail now and we're going to through Los Angeles, Phoenix, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and to Taos, and then I went to Standing Rock in South Dakota, and then from there we go beyond step by step doing the Mayan calendars, dream catchers, house of learnings for the people. And so through that invitation, we want to say that we're actually going to have this physical gathering on June 2nd and 3rd right here in Santa Barbara, and we have that information available to you through a phone call or email that we can have.
I believe you sent it to me, yeah. So.
June 2nd and 3rd. If you have a chance, you have to come and meet Jose and take part in the ceremony in Santa Barbara. Amazing.
Yeah.
You'll be happy.
No, and you did a ceremony a while back at the Peace Tree.
Mm-hmm.
I think I actually have footage, so you'll be prepared for me to share that on my page as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I know by experience that it was a wonderful ceremony. I thought it was brilliant and beautiful and very touching. I mean, inspired my spiritual stuff quite a bit.
Okay.
So, also, if there's people who can't go, like, you know, people who work 24/7, I don't know, those people out there, because they exist, or they have financial trouble or whatnot, but really want to be a voice for you as well and support it. But as you know, time constraints, life, or the mundane stuff of society happens. How could they help support you?
There's a couple of different ways in my mind. One of them is here locally, we do events monthly. We shared about the full moon ceremony with malt water ceremony that we do down at the beach. That's a physical thing, you know. And then if you can support us by helping us get to Standing Rock, or help us create 100 around the world of the Dreamcatcher temples, places of learning. And so the Tribal Trust Foundation has a website and a place where you can donate, you know, $1 or whatever it is that you have, you know, are able to. And if not, there may be other things that we can use your efforts for. I know that David has just a simple prayer that you can put together with yarn. And that's energetic, you know, that's like a prayer time. That's what it is. And so these things can all be helpful in creating unity, love, and peace on the planet, you know.
Thank you.